It's good to see you again.
Unity train on Unity 93.3 FM. Today happens to be a wonderful day, Wednesday, the 5th day in the month of June, the year 2024. E.G. Adamu is my name. Could be if you like, and I will be just fine. Yes, of course, we are reaching you live from the hills of ZINARIYA in just North Plateau State, Nigeria. I'm so excited. This is because I know you are tuned to this very day, following us. And so you may want to do that also via our Facebook page at Unity Radio FM/TV Jaws. It's lovely. Congratulations, Nigeria, we hail thee. And in the studio this morning, I have Barrister Paul Zaruma. This is one person that believes in objective analysis, and he is very unbiased when it comes to political issues. And so he's coming your way with a big good morning. And so stay tuned. Barrister.
A very big good morning to viewers and listeners of Unity Train on the from Unity TV and radio. I hope you will stay tuned even as you listen to this wonderful program, and also wish you a blissful midweek.
Oh, that is lovely, and I'm particularly very happy about the fact that this very program has 3 segments to it all. The first 30 minutes from 8 o'clock to 8:30, it's a review segment. And just after that, the second 30 minutes, that's from 8:30 to 9, is transit. We have a topic that I'm sure you will be excited to be a part of it. And the last 30 minutes is where our viewer and our listener gets to join the conversation and, in fact, take the lead. And so I would beg that you stay tuned even up until that very moment so that we would hear your wonderful contributions, angle of thoughts, great dimensions that you cannot do without. Thank you. Again, in the studio this morning is Professor Paveno H. Bamayi, Dean Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, Public Affairs and Current Affairs, a commentator. He's a passionate one, and so, not less than a big good morning. He's coming your way again. Stay tuned.
Well, let me begin with the viewers and listeners. A big good morning to you. And if you're in other parts of the world that is not morning, good afternoon, good evening, good morning could be, and Barrister Zaruma.
Good morning, bro.
It's a beautiful day. We are grateful to God to be counted among the living on this beautiful Wednesday. And around the world, events are unfolding within our nation and even locally. So please invite your friends, your neighbors, colleagues. Go on social media, tell them we are on air. Let them join this fantastic broadcast. This is a unity train, and this unity train takes off from a fantastic destination and takes us from a fantastic location and takes us to a fantastic destination. So please invite them. Let them be part of this beautiful broadcast. But let me seize this opportunity again to remind you that your goals are there, your objectives, your visions, your dreams for 2024. How far so far have you gone? 20%, 30, 40, 50? Have you gone 70%? Maybe you've even gone 100%, because some people have already finished accomplishing their targets for the year 2024. Wherever you are at this point, from 0 to 100%, it's not too late. You can even start now and overtake those who have started ahead of you. Overtaking is allowed in life. So make sure your goals, your visions, your dreams are smart. Smart means they're specific, they're measurable, they're achievable, they're relevant, and they're time-bound. Remember, so many things are happening at the same time, pretty fast. So time is not going to wait for you. So you need to put in some action into those intentions. Put in some action into those projects, those plans that you've devised. And remember that there will be obstacles on the way. There will be hindrances. In fact, there will be resistance. But your persistence will break every resistance. Remember that winners never quit, and quitters don't win. So keep aspiring to acquire what you require in your life. In case there are challenges on the way, don't retire. Keep refiring. Keep refiring again and again and again. The tough times are not going to last, but tough people will do. If you invest in the plans, the objectives you have, give it the time, the attention it needs, you will discover that by the end of this year, you will be smiling. And while you are about it, please remember to be the change that you want to see in the world.
All right, thank you so much, Professor, for speaking to our viewer and listener this morning, reminding us every morning, encouraging our listener and viewer, and also giving us some inspirational talks there. And I'm sure lots of people, and not only the listener and the viewer, even those of us being members of the crew for Unity Trend, we are always blessed to hear this from you. And we're doing the needful to make sure that we also become people who engage ourselves to make sure that we achieve our goals, not only for this year, but for whole life. Thank you so much, Professor, for doing that for us. Okay, I would join on this platform, of course, and the entire crew of this very Unity Trend. We join in the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Communication, the PLATEAU sons who are having their birthday celebrations going on, and you can find it on social media, people celebrating them. And so we are also joining this wonderful man, the People's Commissioner, to celebrate Honorable Dachung Musa Bogos, a former member representing the good and peace-loving people of just south, just east, right, federal constituency, on his wonderful birthday. Alongside also, we have Honorable Yakubu Jang, also his birthday is just recent, and I have seen a lot of people celebrating. So on this platform, we are celebrating you, and we pray that God will, in His grace and mercy, give you many more years ahead. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Very quickly, let's just begin with the headlines as we have them today. But today, there's a world event today, right? And it has to do with environment. And Mr. Dewumi and quite a number of our callers will always call and say, keep just clean. And I know about the issues of keeping just clean. This has been a thing for us for decades. Keep just clean. And today we're still saying keep just clean. A lot is happening to the environment, but we have just but little awareness about the danger that if we don't do well to our environment, that will pose to us. So please, maybe let's begin there before we look at the headlines as we have them. And today, with Barrister in the studio, there will be some sort of political updates. Thank you. Prof.
Well, today is World Environment Day, 5th June 2024. And the theme of the World Environment Day is land restoration, desertification, and drought resistance. We've been talking about the environment, and we'll continue to talk about the environment because the greatest gift that nature has given to us, God has given to us, is our environment. In our environment, we find the food we eat. In our environment, we find the water that we drink. In our environment, we find the air that we breathe. The animals that supply us with milk and meat. In our environment, we find wealth, mineral resources, hidden deep down in the soil. In our environment is everything we need for our health, medicine, whatever we need. It is there in the environment. So the way we handle our environment determines to a great extent the progress and development that we have. And that is why today, as the world celebrates the World Environment Day, let us respect the environment by keeping it clean. You see, you move around your city and many other cities across the country, you will see refuse dumps all over the place. In fact, some of them are an eyesore. Sometimes you feel like throwing up when you are passing through certain streets and locations within the city. This is not good. We degrade our environment through mining activities, for example, and we pollute the environment by disposing all this, lino, polythene, what we call leather bags. And, these leather bags, they are not biodegradable. They can stay 100, 200 years. They are not biodegradable. And they are bad for the environment. That is why in some countries, like Rwanda, leather bags have been banned, polythene bags. You will not see them anywhere because they're harmful to the environment. And there are many things we do. Some of us, we cut down trees and we don't care. On this World Environment Day, I want to specifically encourage viewers and listeners around the world that please do something about the environment. And there is something small and little that you can do about the environment. Plant a tree or two today. You're helping the environment. Anytime, for any reason, you see one tree has been brought down, plant two. The best time to plant a tree was 100 years ago. The next best time is today. Now, plant a tree. Plant trees all around. Just keep planting. Make up your mind that every year you will plant hundreds of trees alone. One man turned a whole desert in a part of his country to green vegetation by planting trees over a period of more than 30, 40 years. He alone brought back green vegetation to his country, a campaign of many years. And we need more trees in Nigeria. We need trees along our roads. We need trees in our environment, where our offices, where our houses are. We need trees, fantastic, wonderful trees. I've been to some countries, you see very nice, wonderful trees, even within their markets. They have put trees within the market. We need fine, beautiful environments like that. So today, please go buy a tree, seedling, plant a tree around your house, plant a tree around your office, plant a tree around your business premise, around the church, around the mosque, somewhere. Plant trees. That is one way to conserve the environment. That is a fantastic way. I will suggest that we celebrate the World Environment Day.
All right, that's lovely, and thank you. Okay, let's just go politics before we cut back to these trending issues of labor suspending or lifting off the nationwide strike for about a week. We have it in detail later on, but let's just see what has been happening directly to politics. And this one says, Edo LP suspends caretaker committee chairman and is found in Punch this morning. And another political issue is this one says, PDP and Labour merger. Is this going to be possible? And Barrister Paul is in the studio. Let's just have this in a moment, Barrister.
Yes, politicians are incurable optimists. With so many intrigues, scheming that are happening now, so that it's all about 2027. As long as the citizens are concerned, this is a time to see the dividend of democracy. But as long as politicians are concerned, it's about 2027.
Yes,
so
everything
already,
is about 2027.
Yes, everything now, all eyes are on 2027.
Yes.
And then really, if you look at our political landscape, if you did not start planning earlier, you will wake up in a wonderland. So that's all this development you see. It is what is happening with Edo LP, caretaker chairman Elizabeth Avivier. That led to her suspension is quite unfortunate. They have election around the corner, and their house is not in order. The Elizabeth Avivier was just appointed about a week ago, and now they are talking about suspending her. They have suspended her. And then now with the election they have around the corner, how will they be able to manage the election? If you look at what is happening, except if miracle happen, it will be very terrible for LP in Edo State to win the election. And they have a very wonderful gubernatorial candidate, which is Olumide Apata, one of the best and wonderful NBA president we ever had. He changed the face of NBA, changed the narrative in NBA. In fact, at the last year conference, when he was introduced, he received a rousing welcome, more than even when the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria was introduced. This is the man that left a landmark in the NBA. And immediately he left, the new NBA chairman, the present NBA chairman, has taken us to the old narrative. You could see the ESCO literally fighting among themselves during meetings. They were presenting financial report. Treasurer stood up during the meeting and said, "Oh, I was not the person that drafted this financial report. So how can you have a financial report that the treasurer wasn't the person that drafted it?" So this was the old narrative in NBA. Now it has come back. But Olumide took the NBA, like he made NBA look futuristic. But unfortunately, we have gone back to the old. So be that as it may, back to the issue of politics. Olumide is a leader par excellence. But unfortunately, there are a lot of factors that are working against him in Edo State. This dispute now of sacking and recycling. And you remember just recently, Abure was beaten blue and black in that same Edo State, Julius Abure, all in the name of a power tussle. So you can see that the house of the Labour Party in Edo State is not in order. And there are so many factors militating against the victory of Labour Party in Edo State. Another factor that is working against them is the zoning arrangement, because as long as the Edo people are concerned, it is not the turn for the zone that Olumide Apata comes from. So you see that's another factor working against him. But frankly, if you put all the candidates on table, with for the PDP candidate, the major candidate, PDP, APC, and Labour Party, I'm telling you, in Edo State, Labour has the best candidate, except for these factors that are militating against them. But if perchance Olumide Apata will win the election, I'm telling you, he's going to change. Yes, he's going. If perchance he wins the election, he's going to change the political narrative in Edo State. Edo State have been having it bad. Edo State is one of those states that has not been lucky in Nigerian political history. The emergence of Adams Oshomole as a governor was greeted with a lot of excitement and expectation. But unfortunately, Adams Oshomole disappointed not only the people of Edo State, but Nigeria at large. So this is quite unfortunate for the Labour LP in Edo State, but we wish them well. They can still, just like I earlier stated in the introduction, that politicians are incurable optimists. So they still have time to change the tide, to put one or two things in place so that they will increase and enlarge their chances of winning the election in Edo State. Back to the last time we spoke here, we said all the three major political parties are having issues. LP have their own issue, the Julius Abure and the Apapa issue, and another group coming up to say, apart from the Apapa issue, another group coming up to say, oh, this Julius Abure he's not transparent and he's not accountable, and so many things working against Julius Abure, to the extent that at a point in time Peter Obi really stood with him, and he stood very firm with him. but it got to a point that Peter Obi started withdrawing from Abure gradually because of if you continue, the tempo may not be sustainable. So if you also look at APC, you will see also APC is also facing a lot of battle. I told you that Ganduje is occupying the space of North Central, and there are a lot of North Central. Our own, is it Zaga? He has been making a lot of press release and other things, mobilizing stakeholders from the North Central to say, oh, they are not comfortable with Ganduje being there. And truly, we cannot have a Ganduje as a party chairman from Northwest, while it is the turn of and then the national vice chairman also is from Northwest. So you can see that it is not balanced. At least Ganduje is overstaying his welcome. If you also remember recently, he was even suspended from his ward. And then that matter is still in the court. We don't know what is happening in the court now, but there are a lot of injunctions from the court and counter-injunction with respect to that. So, and for the APC to really get it ground, the APC should do the needful and give the North Central their chairmanship. Again, also, the APC is also losing ground in Plateau State. They don't have minister occupying that state, even though there are information reaching that the minister from Plateau State may be appointed during the cabinet reshufflement, because the president intends to reshuffle the cabinet by June 12th, and so many ministers will go because of their poor performance. So if that indicator happens to be true, then I think any moment from now, the minister from Plateau State will be appointed, and then he will come and serve as a galvanizer of the party here in Plateau State. Yes. If not at national level, we don't have anybody that is really galvanizing the party. In terms of yes, in terms of APC. So if you also go to the PDP also have their own internal wrangling that is also very strong. So the issue of even merging the APC and the Labour Party is extremely difficult now, because for them to even match, they have to solve their internal dispute wranglings. If they are not able to solve their internal wrangling, even when they come to merger, it will be like an enlargement of the wrangling. But if they are able to relatively solve their internal wranglings, if Labour is able to solve it internal wrangling, PDP is able to solve it internal wrangling, then the issue of merger will come in. And if they are able to, and the way the discussion is going, you know, they want to also bring in NNPP into the arrangement. If they bring in NNPP into the arrangement, you could see that they will pose a very great threat to the APC. Even though there are some political pundits that are of the view that there is no need of a merger, particularly considering the difficulties Nigerians are passing through to unseat APC in 2027. But I feel that Tinubu is a grand political grandmaster. That, you know, he hardly, I don't think he has ever lost any election, and he knows when to strike. You know, he strike at the right time. You know, at the 2015 primary election in Lagos, you know, when Tinubu realized that Konkoso and Atiku were almost defeating Buhari, it was either Konkoso will confess or Atiku will confess. Buhari was about coming distant thought. Then Tinubu had to say, okay, it was a Friday, people should go and pray and come back. And it was during that people went for the prayer and the game changed. And that was how you see, before you know it, when they returned back from the prayer, Buhari started leading with a very wide margin. So, and then at that time, Buhari, out of excitement of the strategic role Tinubu played, offered him to be the vice president. But Tinubu knew that for them to unseat a sitting president with a Muslim ticket at that time would be extremely difficult for them. And at that time, the religion factor was very sensitive and very intense in Nigeria. So he refused that offer and offered Oshibanjo. Yes, and Oshibanjo added value to that ticket, being a pastor from one of the largest denominations in Nigeria, and then people became a little bit comfortable, and then it was Tinubu that brought the media boys that packaged Buhari. Buhari was well packaged. So many of Buhari's excesses that Nigerians, like some elders who experienced Buhari's regime in 1983, we are pointing at. Tinubu was able to package those things, and then Nigerians forgot about what happened, and as a result, Buhari eventually won the election. Even though not long after winning the election, they parted ways with Tinubu. So a lot of things are coming up. In the
you'll be telling us more if actually they parted ways. It's time for a commercial break. Listener, viewer, please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way. It concerns you. It kill law, it kill dreams. It land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Get ready to be entertained and inspired by the incredible stories around the globe. Don't miss out on the excitement. Hello at Work is an ultimate TV program that brings to you the interesting stories and daily happenings worldwide. Join us Mondays and Thursdays, 10 a.m. as we dive into the daily happenings and stories. Tune in and stay. Say hello to the world as you bring in your ideas, as it is a perfect blend of entertainment and information. Get ready to stay up to date while being entertained.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead.
So much for staying tuned with us on this very dial. This is Unity Trend on Unity 93.3 FM. That is in case you just tuned in, and just in case you're just joining us. This is the second segment to the program, and we'll be taking another 30 minutes more on this segment, and it's called Transit. And so, but on Transit today, we will not be rolling out a topic for discussion. We will just continue with the various issues that we have trending on our dailies. And so in the studio it has been Barrister Paul Zaruma and Professor Pofeno, and let's just continue to do this. And by the way, time check is 30 minutes down the hour of 8 a.m. and so you can also join us on our Facebook page already. I can see some comments coming in at Unity Radio FM/TV Jaws. Again, at Unity Radio FM/TV Jaws. Get ready, Liton. I'll give you the studio line. But for the text messages, just in case you want to do that, draft it and send it before we get out of the studio. It would have been in my phone. 0808-478-9999 for text messages alone. And so, Barrister, I was just about to say if you would tell us if former President Buhari parted ways with the present president. But then let's just see what we have from Prof as regarding.
Well, let me clear that. When I talk about immediately after the 2015 election, they parted ways. Not, they were able to manage it. Most of the people that Tinubu recommended for appointment, they became the victim of that incident. Right. But Tinubu was focused on the the 2023 election, so he was able to manage the whole thing. And there are other people in the party that were also able to manage it. And even at the last primaries, Buhari was not actually supporting Tinubu. Even he also managed the circumstances. So it's not really as if they allow it to snowball into enmity or a kind of Buhari's camp and Tinubu's camp.
All right, I see.
So that is just the point I was trying to clarify.
Thank you very much. Yes. It's clear.
So be that as it may, by way of rounding up, so that Prof will give us an angle to this program.
Yes.
But if eventually the merger. The merger works, because to me the merger will hardly work for so many reasons that I have pointed some, and time may not allow me to point all the reasons. But eventually, if the merger works, it's going to be very, very devastating. It is going to be a serious banana peel for the APC, because it will add. Just imagine if they match the members of House of Assembly and the House of Reps and members of Senate at the National Assembly will change, and then also. It will add 2 governors to that merger. So you could see that the political landscape will change. But somebody like Tinubu can hardly be threatened with such circumstances, because like I earlier said, that he is a grandmaster of politics in Nigeria. He knows when to strike and he knows how to strike. So, and then he also knows when to scheme, when to manipulate, and when to control. So Tinubu is a schemer. He's a great political schemer. So 2027 is going to be very interesting.
He's a wonderful strategist. And then Prof, particularly Prof, I just cannot wait to hear your opinion regarding the suspension. Do we call it suspension now? Lift of the nationwide strike by organized union. So.
Yeah, Labour has suspended the ongoing industrial action for 5 days. That's approximately a week to allow for negotiations to go on between the tripartite committee representing the federal government and the Labour leaders. Yesterday, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president, had a closed-door meeting with members of the tripartite committee. They needed to put their house in order, before facing Labour. Like Barrister Zaruma said, Tinubu is a master strategist. He's a political gladiator. He can be very unpredictable. But he knows what he's doing. And with all that is happening, he's scheming. He knows what he's doing. So we can give it to him when it comes to politics in Nigeria, when it comes to scheming, when it comes to planning, when it comes to strategizing. You can give it to him, that he knows what to do. During the elections, 2023 elections, and the events leading up to that election, not too many people gave him a chance. But one of my mentors, who lives outside the country, said to us, "Behold your president. Behold the next president of Nigeria." Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And he listed 10 reasons why Bola Ahmed Tinubu emerged as the president. That's even before the elections. That's when they were doing the primaries or before the primaries. And he listed 10 reasons why Bola Ahmed Tinubu will become the president. Those reasons are scientific, from research and analysis. And everything he said came to pass. While other people were saying other things, and campaigning, some were even prophesying, and all those things. But Tinubu is a strategist. Now, I hope that he will bring in that strategy into this negotiation with Labour.
That's what
because we need it. We need his input. That's why I said yesterday I expected, as president, he should meet directly with Labour. I'm happy that he's meeting with the tripartite committee. Now, indirectly, he's meeting with Labour, but through meeting the tripartite committee, maybe to tell them what to say and do when they go and meet with the labor leaders.
Yes.
So my prediction is that these discussions will be concluded before the weekend, and that a new minimum wage will be signed and agreed before the weekend, and that there will not be strike next week, because suspension means that they will be resuming on Monday if there is no agreement. But I don't foresee labor resuming any strike, and I think that with all that has happened, that they are going to arrive at a consensus. Now, the suspension of the strike was not what I wanted. Many other people did not want it, because we wanted something on the table, before the strike is suspended. Imagining shutting the national grid, imagining sending away people from the hospitals, and all those things. And then there is nothing to show, and then the strike was suspended. And I have a grouse with Labour. I have something against Labour. Left to me, Labour went to certain extremes that they should not have gone to. Imagining shutting down the national grid. To me, it's not correct. I know Labour wants the whole country to feel the effect of the strike. But if you look at the industrial law, even when you're on strike, you're not supposed to go and shut down the national grid. It is not right. If you look at, I think it's section 36 of the labor laws governing, labor activities. But they shut down the national grid. It is against the law. It is an offense. Thank God that the federal government has said that nobody will be prosecuted. Nothing will happen to anybody. Another thing they did that I did not like was that in some of the states we saw labor leaders go into hospitals to chase away patients. Chase away patients and nurses and doctors from the hospitals. No, it is not done around the world. Those were extremes. You can withdraw your services, don't send away the patients. If the patients want to remain there unattended to, leave them. Don't enter hospitals, intimidate, the patients, chase them, away and all that. No, it is not done. I know they wanted by all means that everybody must feel the effect of the strike, but they went to certain extremes that are a violation of laws that, govern industrial actions. But the industrial action has been suspended. I hope that the federal government can give a fantastic minimum wage package to workers. And it should not be anything, the minimum where negotiations should start from is 100,000. 100,000 is the equivalent of 30,000 naira minimum wage inherited by this current administration when they came into power. So the negotiation should begin from how much can the government add to 100,000. And then if it's agreeable to labor, the government decides to add 100,000 or 200,000 to 100,000, that will be okay, at least for now. But, if we want to really solve this problem, we should be talking about pegging the minimum wage to the US dollar. $300 US as minimum wage, so that any time the naira value depreciates or appreciates, no problem, we don't need to go on strike again. The minimum wage is the equivalent of $300 US. If that is what the government gives, well, $300, I'm sure they will say, oh, that's too much. When you multiply that by 1,400, it's a lot of money. Even multiplying by 1,000 naira, already you're talking about 300,000 naira at least. I know they're going to say it's too much. But let it be that we have an agreement that will not make us next year to come back again, another strike, or in 3 months' time, in 6 months' time, because of inflation. Because if today labor agrees to take 200,000 as minimum wage, and this hyperinflation continues, and the value of 200,000 naira becomes 10,000 naira, what have we done? Back to square one. We've not done anything. So why not peg it at the US dollar and say minimum wage should be $100 US, $200 US. My recommendation is $300 US. At any point in time, just pay the equivalent of $300 US in naira to the Nigerian workers. I think that is going to help us a lot. But I'm optimistic that they will reach an agreement before the weekend, and that we will not need to have another strike next week. But like I said, the strike should not have stopped until we have achieved what we were out to achieve, because we had taken the federal government by the jugular, but we've let them go. They have, I now have a sigh of relief. They have taken some cooler air now. They have breathed very well, and they are ready to fight. And then they are going to be negotiating with Labour from a position of strength, not weakness anymore. So Labour will have a lot to contend with.
I think it's lovely that the Labour should allow the federal government to breathe, because I remember not too long ago it was said that let Nigerians breathe. And so I think it's yes, so you consider that still.
I like the narrative Prof gave about his friend.
Yes,
that jacked that held the pit bull on the jugular.
Yes.
You know, that's a very great narrative. I had to go back to
really go through that
to look at how a pit bull looks like.
Yes.
You know, I said that friend must be very strong for him to do that.
That was some kind of miracle.
Be that as it may, like our friend Sajis Mohammed always say, that Nigeria is an extreme society. Even in war, hospitals are not supposed to be tampered with. So not to talk about in an industrial action. So it was very wrong for Labour to go to hospital and chase away people. You know, it is terrible that Labour shouldn't adopt such extremism anymore. It's not going to help us. It's counterproductive. You know, we just reported yesterday about some of the Labour leaders that were the Labour enforcement team that were attacked at NTA Park here in Jos. Some of them were rushed to hospital. If those hospital were to close, what would have happened to them? So the hospital is very important. There could be people who are victims of accident or any form of thing, and you rush them under emergency to the hospital, and then you chase when the leaders chase them. I don't think it's good for this country. So even in war, both internationally, people that are in hospital shouldn't be allowed to become victim of such things, particularly those that are in emergency.
Already shutting down the national grid is enough harm to hospitals. Why? Because you have people whom are, on life support, and then suddenly there is no power to help them continue living for the next moment. So that already is enough harm. And
that's extreme. You know, there are rules of engagement in everything. So the Labour should apply the rule of engagement. We supported Labour. We supported the strike. We are with Nigerians. We are with the common men. But at least everything we should do, let's follow the rules of engagement.
If you look at the industrial laws of the country, you will see that the national grid was singled out, that even when there is industrial action, they should not tamper with it. It's a national asset. It is a critical national asset. Nobody should shut down the national grid. Because when you do that, so many things can happen. People will lose their lives, businesses will close down, so many things will happen. And by the time you shut down the national grid, it is not like the switch in our house that you just go on again. It takes a process of time before the light will come back. That's why you see yesterday, even when they suspended the strike, we didn't have light for hours. It was taking a process. In some places up to now, they still don't have light.
Yes.
Because it's a lot of processes involved in bringing back the national grid again gradually, and then you have a power supply across the nation. So it was very wrong for Labour to go in and do that, because previously that attempt was made and the people paid severely for it. They were taken to court. Some people were even jailed for it. Now Labour is trying to do that. It is not allowed. You can withdraw your services, you can say that you will not go to work and whatever, but you cannot harass a national asset like the national grid. The national grid is our pride. You're making us a laughing stock to the international community. If you look at the whole world, countries around the world, anytime there is industrial action or anything doing, nobody touches the national grid. And nobody enters hospitals. to chase away patients or do whatever. These are very critical. You can do other things, but don't tamper with this. They are protected under the law because the law envisage that there will be industrial action. So that clause was put about the national grid. It should not be tampered with.
Now, this is not to even mention or to talk about what people lost just because they could not be able to access their mobile phones. I know of a number of people, even our own station was shut down. We had to close earlier than we usually close. And so yesterday too, and a good number of people were complaining. Myself, I brought more than one phone yesterday just to be able to see if I could power it. And one of the phones I brought yesterday belonging to a nurse, taking care of a school. She was in Jos before she could go back to her base, and there was no power. And just this morning, just when she was putting on her phone yesterday, a call just rang and said there's an emergency. One of the students, is having health challenge and she's needed. Imagine. So it tells you we've lost a lot of things as a result of that there was no power supply at all because of the strike. So maybe next time, I don't know how this is going to be like, but trust Nigerians. Somebody is still like, oh, this is a good thing to do, and that nothing should have been done to suspend. There shouldn't have been anything like suspending the strike.
Next time, Labour should study the labor laws very well. They should look at the industrial law. Not just the constitution alone, there is the industrial law. They should look at all the sections, all the clauses. Look at it critically. I support the strike, but that doesn't mean we should go to extremes that are outside the law. Withdrawing our services alone, the government will feel the impact, will feel the effect. But shutting down the national grid means putting the whole country in darkness. The entire country, the whole of Nigeria, that is a country of more than 200 million people. Please, tell me where in the world have you ever heard that there was a strike or protest and they shut down the national grid? It doesn't happen. It's only in Nigeria. Nigeria is setting a wrong, record, and this is not good for Labour. Because if not that the government has given amnesty, the government can go to court and say, look at the provision in industrial law. You were not supposed to do this. Who were the people that shut down the national grid? These are critical assets of government. These are assets that are supposed to have the highest form of security. These are assets that should be protected by the best security on earth. That is why some of us even feel that the National Security Advisor and others should even be held culpable. Why did they allow the national grid to be shut down? I don't understand. Because when you are on strike, people on essential services are not on strike. The police are not on strike. The military are not on strike. They don't join the strike. Why did they allow some people to shut down the national grid? It should never have happened. It is a bad episode in our history. And now it has gone into record against Labour that they shut down the national grid, which is contrary to the extant rules and regulations of industrial actions.
Oh, I see. Oh, thank you. But this one, maybe we'll round up with this. 30 governors spent 968.64 billion naira on refreshments, others in 3 months. Oh,
when I was telling you that they spend millions for breakfast in government houses, and then some people thought I was joking. This is within 3 months. What they have spent 968 billion. That's about 1 trillion. 1 trillion naira on refreshment, just entertainment. While Nigerians are dying, while Nigerians cannot pay school fees, while Nigerians are trekking for 5 kilometers because they have no money for transport, while Nigerians are sick in the hospital, some have died of sicknesses that they could have treated if they had money. Now, our governors are enjoying themselves with about 1 trillion naira entertainment refreshment. I have been to a number of government houses. When you go there, it's a feast that takes place in the government houses. In fact, I was invited one time to go and take breakfast with a governor. And as soon as we entered with my friend, there was a feast. Many other people, the governors don't eat alone. They cannot eat alone. Anytime they have to eat, it's a feast. It is a feast in that place. Yes. And that feast takes place every day, whether the governor is around or not.
Is this the reason why sometimes some people take it like do or die affairs? If there is any attempt maybe to, you know, have someone take over being a governor, maybe there's a court case and other things, and people say, no, we can't let our governor to go because maybe because of
it's very juicy.
Oh, man.
All those around the governor, all those that stay in the government houses, they benefit, they enjoy. A young lady told me, because she stayed in one of the government houses, they don't buy anything if you stay there. The government provides the soap you bath with, the pomade, the lotion, everything. The food is contracted. The contractors bring the supply food. The contractors supply the cows that are slaughtered. Everything is contracted. In fact, the lady was telling me that sometimes what they do is they just go around the refrigerators, deep freezers, they remove everything there. And remove it and cut it away, so that they will say, oh, it's empty, contractor, bring more. They will go, the workers there. So you see the corruption. It is not even the governor. Now the workers there will remove everything so that the contractor will bring more. By the time he brings after 3 days or thereabout, they will remove it again. Not that he's even exhausted. So that he will bring more. They will send it to their relatives, you know, and all that. There's somebody involved in doing this thing that was
it is quite unfortunate that if you go to the houses of some of these politicians, the crowd you see there. At times, an ordinary commissioner, you go to his house. So at times, it's not even yes, we have pointed out the side of the government, and then also let's look at also the side of the citizens.
Yes.
At times, when you go to the houses of some of these leaders, even some councillors, very early in the morning, as early as 4 a.m. already, people have crowded the place. Go to the houses of chairmen and see. People have already crowded. And if he did not give them water, they will say, oh, this man is stingy. No, he's not giving us anything. So you can see how bad it is. Now back to the government workers. It has become a tradition today that any governor that is leaving office, the workers will go, remove the carpets, remove the fittings, at times some will even remove switch from the wall. So the next governor that is coming is literally coming to the extent that some were cutting away with curtains. So when the next governor is coming, he will just come and do as a mini renovation.
Government house.
So you can see how terrible the minds of Nigerians are. Once they say a particular governor's regime is going, you will see the cars, the official car, people will run away with them. You see, it is a terrible thing. I think this is a culture that we really need to work on, and we have to be disciplined. We have to be patriotic in approaching some of these.
I think fighting corruption actually. It's not really to begin with leaders, because if you start with any leader, you will discover that the citizens will all out.
No, you see, we can start with leaders.
We can start.
Yes, because a leader should lead. A leader should lead by example.
Yes.
So if you lead by example, that's just like we were saying yesterday, that if the leader make the necessary sacrifice, I think it will go down to the followership. For instance, now, if you are a governor, you say, okay, I am cutting down cost of living. I am checking my convoy. I remember when Jan became governor, there are many things he did in the beginning of his tenure that shows that he's going to perform, and he really performed. Number one, when Jan became governor, he checked his cost of governance. He streamlined cost of governance to the barest minimum. He cut down his convoy to I think was it 5 or 7 vehicles at that time. They had to his advisors had to pressurize him to say you need to go with media, you need to go with a medical team, paramedics, you need to go. If not, he wanted to go with 3 vehicles. That was when he became governor, and that gave him a proper foundation to do well. That's why you can see some of his projects there. They are very well. Even though later on, definitely as you are interacting with other states and then so many factors, he relaxed later on towards the end of his regime. He relaxed. But you see, once a leader starts, and when he I'm telling you, when I always make example with Buhari, because my expectation about Buhari was much. I was looking at this pious man that is going to check cost of governance. He is going to, because of the way he was packaged, we were meant to believe that he doesn't go for expensive life and what have you. You see, if a president say, okay, today, if as a president, like sometimes ago, El-Rufai, as the governor of Kaduna State said he sent his child to public school. At that time, whether he is honest or not, go and see the public schools in Kaduna. He refurbished public school that hitherto doesn't have libraries. He set up libraries for them, set up labs for them, brought in computer labs for them. What public school doesn't used to have in Kaduna? So you can see that no matter whether he was honest or he was being political about it, but at least the child was going to that public school, and then the most public schools in Kaduna were standardized, and he was taking public school teachers for further trainings. There is hardly any seminar during El-Rufai that he will not send teachers from public school. So you can see that if today as a governor I said, okay, my children will go to school in Nigeria or in Plateau, and then I will do my treatment in Plateau Hospital. Plateau Hospital, definitely it will not be the way it is. So it's quite unfortunate that everything will go outside the country.
Thank you. Before you bring down the cost of governance in Plateau State, if you would be there, please allow me to partake in the feast. I hope that does not present me as a corrupt.
Maybe you become like Bishop Kuka's friend that say if you go to Abuja, you will learn table manners, because when you are eating, you don't talk.
All right, thank you. Viewer and our listener, please stay tuned. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune into Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer, and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was saying things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. Mr. Politician, it's good to see you. Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead.
For staying tuned with us, this is Unity Trend on your radio, Unity 93.3 FM, the voice of reason. And you listening and following from the home of peace and tourism, Ijia remains my name, Kobe, if you like, and I'll be just fine in the studio. It has been Professor Paveno Hates Bamayi and Barrister Paul Zaruma. This is the last segment to this wonderful program, which comes your way every weekday, Mondays to Fridays. Once it is 8 o'clock, we start and never stop until it is 9:30. And so, let's just begin right now because it's your segment. Let's get to hear whatever issue that you have on this platform. We are ready to have it from you. But of course, you must again stick to the rules of the game. You must be a part of those who promote peaceful coexistence, because that's what we are standing for in this very platform. So stay away from comments or statements that are capable of undermining the integrity of an individual or group of individuals. So thank you so much. 07032353315 is the studio line. I'll be very happy if you again join us on our Facebook page at Unity Radio FM/TV Jos. Don't forget, today is Wednesday, the 5th day in the month of June. June happens to be the last month to the first half of the year. I don't need to remind you of that because you're fully aware, but just in case you've forgotten, that's what it is. So now it tells you that we have just again another 6 months to end this year, and I pray God in His grace and mercy will take us through. Thank you so much. All right, 07032353315 is the studio line. Joined again the People's Commissioner. I'm talking about Commissioner for Information and Communication, Honorable Ibrahim Ashams, to celebrate the birthday of Mr. Gang Bere, the director of Praise Government House here in Plateau State, Nigeria. Earlier on, we joined this wonderful commissioner to also say a happy birthday to Honorable Bogos and also Honorable Yakubu Jang, and now Mr. Gang Bere. Wow, Plateau sons are really having it wonderful, celebrating their birthday. So we join you and we pray God will see you through. 07032353315. Comments made on this platform are not in any way the position of Unity at 3.3 FM. Good morning.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Sadiq Umar. I'm calling from TUNTBE.
It's good to have you, Sadiq Umar.
Thank you. I will commend the comrades that have spoken very, very well.
All right.
And actually, you have raised a lot of issues pertaining to this problem.
Okay.
Especially this issue of energy that I have been defended. You see, in this energy sector, it's something that is very, very worrisome. We wonder how to get short periods of time and the situation is uplifted. You see, there is a lot of things that energy has to stand for the people. It's not that they've just come out and now just defend the stress based on their own interest. Well, let's look at what Nigeria are facing in this present time. You see, Nigeria are in very, very hard. We are calling on the government to check. Not only increasing of salary is the problem of Nigeria. These have been clarified. Our naira should be valid. That's all the people want. But we see with this kind of thing that's happening with the government playing with energy, I think the government are using energy to play with the mind of Nigeria. So what Nigerians are understanding this kind of thing at good. But we are calling on the president to check. He is looking for another tenure. So what is happening now? We need to serious intervention in terms of our economy.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sadiq Umar.
All right, 07032353315 is the studio line. I'll be very happy if you choose to be a part of this wonderful program. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for joining.
Yes, this is Benedict coming from Finai.
Let's have you in a moment. Go on, please.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, I want to say good morning to the participants. Welcome to the
Good morning, Mr. Benedict.
I want to appreciate you and thank you for the analysis you made.
All right.
I want to also relate on one of the comments you made concerning how politically strategized and politically wise the President, His Excellency, Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has always been. He has been a senator and also the former governor of Lagos State. He did wonderfully well. He also strategized and was able to make his way to the being the president of Nigeria currently. But you mentioned something concerning his ability to be politically strong, politically wise, politically connected, and no one prefers the other person. But one of the qualities I believe he does not have is the ability
addition
that I want to make.
Yes.
But again, on the issue of the labor, it is even a war crime. I want to say it emphatically. It is a war crime for you to even go to disrupt hospital activities even in the place of war. That's the reason why Mr. Benedict Secretary have so much condemned the activities going on in Gaza. With the military operation from the Israelites, the neighbors to the Palestinians, attacking and killing people indiscriminately in the hospitals. If there are people in Nigeria today, we don't have more. Most of it is not going to have this oppression in this country. And again, because of your selfish interest, because I believe that labor have just gone on this strike, because of their selfish interest, everybody can attest to it that it is after the mention of the increment of their salaries that they come and they sustain this strike. And to me, it's just because of their own selfish interest. And because of their selfish interest, people that are not the civil treatment to the hospital are not strong as you are. We got to stop them, stop the activities and even take them away. It's a crime against humanity. If they have actually done that, I think I condemn it personally on this society. It is a crime, I'm saying it again, it's a crime against humanity for you. Just people like you that are not using civil time and then stop people that stop them from attending to them.
Yes.
And the issue of the national grid, please, if the labor union are listening to me or anybody connected to them, they should not try it again. I'm saying this thing on my own. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not even on the side of the side government.
Mr. Benedict, say it. All right, thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Mr. Benedict. He's saying this on his own. He's not being sponsored and he's not standing by anybody's
Actually, the government also manage those excesses of labor well. If not, just like Prof rightly pointed, they would have been prosecuted for doing that.
All right. Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Prof, good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Naude Tos, calling from Terminus.
All right. Let's have you in a moment, please.
What I want to say is about the issue of labor.
All right.
Labor, their own, I said it here, that their own is selfish interest. They are talking about minimum wage. Forgetting about the Nigeria citizen, we that are common man in this country, about costing of food stuff, costing of cost of living, everything is that. They are not talking about their interest yesterday in television. What they are saying is minimum wage. So, we have already had it. I told you that when we have labor during the Poshomori, just like as we are talking about NAFDAC, when we have NAFDAC during Flora, otherwise we doesn't have all these things. They are just fighting for their own selfish interest and their own pocket. So that is what I know. That is basically on Monday there's something like that because government have already pocketing labor. Labor doesn't have much to say. You wait data neck. So that is what I want to say. Another thing is these boys are still blocking terminals. Center of growth, trading. I don't know what is wrong with the human being. Government have already told us to enter inside terminals and be trading. Not that you should not do your business, but they are still doing strongly that definitely they will be on the road. When you talk to them, they will tell you that that kind of thing is causing problem. But if not the way we are following them here, believe me, my brother, you go here one day, you want to be here example and father. What is causing problems does not supposed to cause problem, will cause problem. Secondly, is the issue of, I call it death trap. The gutter that government did here, over a month and then I left it like that. And this gutter, people are falling inside. About 2 people are fell inside the gutter. One break leg, one break hand. One baba break leg, one mama break leg. So I'm calling upon the government of Plateau. They are listening, governor. You should help us and close do the need for close this gutter. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Kingsley Barnabas. Okay, there is this gutter the government is trying to do just at Terminus. Okay, yes, they have. There's this gutter they are trying to construct. It's still under construction, but this call is concerning people falling into it and then injuring themselves. So there will be need for government to haste up in trying to finish up that, so it doesn't turn out to be a death trap like already Mr. Kingsley Barnabas is referring to.
And if at all anything is delaying the project, there should be some safety measures that should be taken, the government should put some safety measures in that place.
Yes. All right. Hello, good morning. All right, 07032353315 in between calls. I apologize, I'll be reading some comments on Facebook and also text messages. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Kovi.
Thank you for calling.
Yes, good morning, all in studio.
You're welcome. Your name?
Yes. My name is Dambaba. I'm calling from Gagaro, Kenya.
Oh, it's good to have you. My very own Oga from Gagaro. All right. Let's have you.
Yes. The issue on security on
please, we allow you to speak in Hausa for today. Go on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Please go on, speak.
Okay. So, gaskiya Malam Bikiru Adamu. Gaskiya zai sokaci da Hausa Malam Bikiru Adamu.
Please go on, Kaji. Bismillah.
Okay, thank you. Zai sokaci dangane da yan kwadagon na Malam Bikiru Adamu. Gaskiya yan kwadagon ne ya kamata a ce an masa guri. Domin akwai abokina wanda ya makaranta a jihar Bauchi. Ina nan jingir ne ya ce mini wallahi tallahi shi da gumma yi aikin malanta wallahi gumma ya koma gona. To kaga ya kamata a ce yan kwadagon na an kara masa guri. Domin inda ake ba ma yan kwadago naira 60,000 gaskiya Malam Bikiru Adamu ya kasa. 100,000 ne ya kamata shi ne ya kamata ba su domin ana cikin wani mawashin mugun hali na tsadar rayuwa. To kaga yanzu ka duba gani buhun masara nawa ne ke yanzu 70,000, buhun shinkafa nawa ne ke 150,000, buhun wace fari nawa ne ke 145,150. To ya kamata a ce an kara mayan kwadagon nan kudin nan. Saboda yanzu kaga yanzu kana da yara a gida wanda za ka kai su makaranta, kai kuma kana zuwa makaranta kuma wurin na da nisa ana biyan ka 60,000. To kaga ka buga lissafi a wata kawai a ce ma za ka dinga ba da naira 1,000 kawai a wata, ka buga mun lissafi kwana 30 zai baka nawa ne 30,000. Sai ka buga lissafi kuma nawa za a ba 60,000 kana da yaran da kana biyan su a makaranta nawa za ka biya. To ya kamata shugaban kasa Tinubu da shi mataimakin kadin Shatima da kuma gwamnoni ya kamata wannan mawashin halin da ake ciki yan kwadagon nan ya karaci an kara masa abubuwa. Domin daga shekaran jiyan nan zuwa yau zuwa jiya wallahi za mu kamar Bikiru Adamu saboda kwadagon nan wallahi abubuwa sun fara yin tsada. Komai ya fiye ta nan jingin ma yanzu mai ma da kana ganin shi ana sanin shi 700 ne ba naira 20, amma yanzu haka wallahi za mu kallon shi muka buga nan 850 take sadaki. To ya kamata ce shugaban kasa Tinubu da shi mataimakin shi kashin Shatima su taimaka su kara ma yan kwadagon nan kudin nan.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, our last speaker was just trying to lend his voice to support the cause for minimum wage increment. Okay, that's it. So we apologize. Yes, this does not happen so frequently, and so at some point we decide to pick and let our listener and honor them by allowing them to speak that other language with which it's not so formal for us in this platform. After all, it's good. Hello, good morning. Hello. Oh, sorry, that's the issue. That's the problem there. Sorry. On Facebook, Aminu Abdullahi Shuaib say good morning, could be Professor and the barrister in the studio. I'm watching you live from British Junctions. Well, we hope the suspensions of the strikes will bring solutions for labor union, and the government also makes smiles for the citizens of Nigeria. And this one is saying about the refreshments in the house. It's quite heartbreaking. I swear, because, oh, wow, this is a lot of money. Imagine the security sector suffering from lack of financial support, but some group of people are out there spending humongous amount of money for refreshment, which way Nigeria. And it's from Elkanah Moses. Thank you, Moses. And this one said, good morning, Unity FM and the guest in the studio, NLC and TUC, are just fighting for minimum wage without considering the high price of goods and in the market. Okay, even if 1,000, okay, 200,000 is agreed by federal government to be paid by NLC as a minimum wage without looking at price control, it will just be like 18,000 paid past then when price of goods were less. And from Gadabu Jos, and it's from Jaws Tech Media. Thank you. Just Take Media. And this one is from Kamaluddin Salihu Dauda. national minimum wage anthem, BTAT, we hail you, our own dear CNC. Though your tenure may differ on your mandate, we shall stand, Nigeria all and proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our wage shall be a symbol that trust shall reign, and this new count as again to hand unto our children a banner of good governance. O God of all creations, grant these our one request to help us to build a workforce where no man is oppressed, and so we prosperity and plenty Nigeria blessed. Okay, and he's saying good morning, Kobe, and the guest. He's from Kamuldin. Thank you. Another one says, good morning, Unity FM, watching you live from Kampala in Rukuba Road. Emmanuel Mary Audu, thank you, Mary. And Crested George Aziz said, good morning, Kupi, and the two guests, two giant minds in the studio. Honestly, the NLC and the TUC are the biggest problem we have in this country, and he cries a lot. I thought they are fighting for the common man in the country, not knowing that they are fighting for their selfish interest. May the God of the common man in the country fight for our cost, okay? And it's high time the masses learn from their mistakes and correct it in the next elections. Azi Felix, George Crested on follow from Rukuba Road. All right, we having people calling from Rukuba Road. It's a wonderful contribution. So you don't have a shoulder, your rod's there. So we joined to say that there should be road and even the shoulders. Thank you. Maybe one more call, sir. Hello, good morning.
Okay, and the guest in the studio, Musa Kalu calling you from Holgubi.
Of course, this voice can only belong to you.
Kalu, have you changed location? You used to call us from Angwarogo.
That's what it takes to be nomadic in nature.
Oh my, that's lovely. So let's have a nomadic point of view.
So, you see, we are very grateful about the analysis.
All right.
I want to talk about the level.
All right.
You see, the issue we should be talking about level is now the federal workers are about to achieve their ends.
Their aim, okay.
And I'm advising the state and local government to be warming up because the strike is not yet over.
All right.
And moreover, Nigerians, you should go and investigate. In 3 months' time, getting to $1 trillion naira.
Yes.
More than 30 state governors have spent it in terms of caricature and all these things. Which, when the time comes to pay the workers, they will be telling you they don't have money. Every state should go and investigate how what is coming in the kitties of their governors. They are getting more money now than ever. So we don't need any excuse.
All right.
And apart from that, me and you, we should be asking ourselves, in as far as we are not workers, what have we gained in this strike?
Okay.
Have the electricity tax been revised? Let me tell you, the universities, the public government-owned universities, they are looking for autonomy. If they grant them, if they give them the autonomy, your profit will increase. Your hospitals, everything. So that if you look at where every Nigerians are crying, you, the ordinary citizens, start asking yourself, all this strike that is going on, where is your own benefit for joining level?
All right.
You will keep it as like. Whether you like it or not, they have lost it. And the reason as far as they have not been able to revive this electricity.
Yes.
Me and you, what is our achievement? Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's a nomadic point of view from someone who... So that's how it takes to be nomadic. All right. Maybe one more and we call it an end for today. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling.
Hello,
we barely can hear you, please. Hello? Yes, be audible.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is this.
All right.
I hope I'm on air.
Yes, you are on air. Your name, please.
My name is Charles.
Okay. Charles, from?
I'm calling from Bhutan.
Oh, from Bhutan. That's lovely. You also need road, but let's hear your thoughts.
Therefore, we don't need strike in Nigeria. What we need is national protest.
All right.
Very simple. National protest, you are not destroying anything, you are not having any problem with security agencies. Everybody that owns a vehicle will come and park it along the road, not everywhere. All this nonsense.
Sorry.
Everybody is just asking for salary increment. What will happen to the rest of Nigeria?
Sorry, on air
I'm saying that
and everywhere else, it's not good that you use such words. Thank you. Thank you. All right. This one says, good morning, Kubi, and our amiable, consistent, and passionate analyst, Professor Bamayi and Barrister Zaruma. It's unfortunate that even after going that far, Labour agreed to relax the strike. How I wish they had agreed on something tangible before relaxing the strike. Some people have started thinking that, as usual, they have received their own share of the national cake, but I think we should give them a benefit of doubt and pray that something better comes up. Peace is priceless. Let's live in peace. God bless Unity FM and Nigeria. And that peace came from Christy Isan from Lukubarot. B, 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 and Z. There are three fragile things in life which one must handle with care: promise, relationship, and trust. Once any is broken, it doesn't make noise, but creates a big doubt in life. Don't promise when you are happy. Don't rely when you are angry. Reply when you are angry, and don't decide when you are sad. So you would not have any regret. Hassan Garba, I think I will not delete this text message. I will have to study it like Barrister had to study Professor Bameyi's narrations. Story about someone who had to hurt a dog.
Pit bull by the jugular.
All right, good morning, Kobe, Prof. B, and the barrister. Our politicians don't have this country at heart. They only satisfy themselves and families, whilst the larger populace are badly suffocated. When will nepotism be a thing of the past in this country? The wahala in Nigeria is hard to bear. God should intervene, otherwise some of us will be buried alive. Amy Longs from Gingi. Wow, lovely, Gingi. And lastly, because of time, morning, Mr. Kobe, Prof. B, and Barrister Z. Happy World Environment Day. Let me make Plateau greener by keeping our environment clean. NLCs should never tamper with the power grid and our health sector. God bless Nigeria. Dewumi Bauchi Ring And that's the much I think we can take. Just a word, Barrister, because of time, please.
Just a word. My heart goes to local government staff. You know, in most cases, after this negotiation of minimum wage, when they come down to local government staff, they will begin to say they don't have money to pay the local government staff. They go to the same market with the federal government and the state government staff. At times, you will go to local government, you will see a person bearing a big name, director. His salary may not even be up to that minimum wage that they are negotiating now. Right. So it's quite an unfortunate one. And then lastly, I will say that we appreciate all the callers from the end of Unity FM, TV, and radio. And then we will also, I want to round up by saying that no matter the scheming, no matter the game, no matter whatever, it is ultimately Nigerian citizens that are going to determine who becomes the president in 2007.
Thank you very much, Barrister, and of course, Professor doing absentia. But then, our listener and viewer, thank you so much. The crew who made this possible, I truly appreciate all of you. Community broadcasters coming your way on our radio and other programs on the TV. So please stay tuned and enjoy it. Do have yourself a lovely day. See you tomorrow from me, Kobe. Bye-bye.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead.